Hello everyone, my name is Beansprout, and I was wondering if you've ever seen a microtransaction in a game that you feel was overpriced, a waste of money, or even somewhat pay to win. Have you ever thought a company was greedy for making such microtransactions? And have you ever wondered if it really matters anyway? I mean, in most games you can simply just ignore microtransactions and it will never be an issue for you, as for the most part it will never affect the gameplay. Unless of course it's a pay to win game, in which it gives you a competitive advantage if you pay for this stuff. You see, I have a love-hate relationship with microtransactions in the games I enjoy. Many games with pay-to-win elements are those that I don't play, and for the games that aren't pay-to-win but still include microtransactions, I either ignore that they exist, or if I think something's cool, I'll buy it. Now this only really ends up being something that happens with AAA games for me, as that is for the most part what I play the most, and many indie titles I enjoy don't include paid parts of the game. But what we're going to be discussing today is a bit more of a weird one, as it's not really an indie game, but it's certainly not a AAA game. And this game, as I'm sure you all know from reading the title, is in fact Mighty Doom, the mobile spin-off game of the Doom series. Overall, I think Mighty Doom is a really fun game, but that's not really the point of this video, because if you couldn't tell, we're going to be talking about microtransactions in Mighty Doom. Mighty Doom is a free mobile game, which naturally would lead to it being full to the brim with microtransactions and adverts. Fortunately, there isn't really that many adverts in the game, but the trade-off is that there is quite a lot of microtransactions. This would include skins for the Slayer, supply drop bundles that give you keys to open loot boxes, oh yeah, loot boxes, crystals which can be used to give you a second chance when you die or to buy specific items, coins which can be used to buy upgrades, although these can be earned through playing the game, and finally there is a battle pass. Lots of this stuff is present in other games and are kind of an industry standard for AAA games, but something that I thought was particularly bad was the general price of things, as it is rather high, considering this is a mobile game of course. Some examples would be this Easter skin for the Slayer, that would be costing you £12.99 in the UK, which at the moment is $16.19 in the US, just for one Easter themed skin. This weekly offer bundle is £9.99 in the UK, which again, converted to the US dollar, is $12.45. And for those that would want to be buying the Battle Pass, then you'll be paying about £6.99 in the UK, which is $8.71 in the US. Now of course the converted price that I've given you here will be somewhat different to the actual price for this stuff in the US, but it doesn't change how expensive these items are. I only really did that because most of my audience is American, so I wanted to give you a general idea of what the cost of things is here in the UK. Now for some of this stuff I would understand the price if it was a big AAA game with lots of content and a large player base, but this game is not a AAA game, and paying 12 quid for a skin that would be so small on the screen it wouldn't matter is ridiculous in my opinion. Of course I do get the fact that they have to make money some way, considering that the game is free and doesn't have that many adverts. But come on, this stuff is way too expensive and overpriced for what you're actually getting, and that is a big problem. It's worse when you think about the fact that some of the loot boxes are pay to win, and most of the time you'll be playing the game you'll have to buy them if you want them. This isn't really that big of an issue, considering it's a single player game to my knowledge, but I still think it's a bit of an issue. Like, it would matter more if the game wasn't single player and if there was a multiplayer element, but from what I know from playing the game, there isn't a multiplayer option, so it isn't really that big of a deal. Unless there is a multiplayer option and I've just never seen it. But what do you think of Mighty Doom's microtransactions? Have you bought any? Have you not? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're there, if you enjoyed this video, then I recommend leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, as it greatly helps me in spreading this video to more people who may find it interesting. Also, if you want to watch any more content of mine, then I suggest you either watch my full thoughts and opinions video on Mighty Doom on the right, or my latest video which can be seen on the left. If you would like to support this channel further, then I'd recommend checking out my merch store. And if you'd like to discuss this topic and others like it with people with similar interests to you, then I would direct you towards my Discord server, which for some reason says merch store on my script, because I don't know, I mustn't have been thinking when I was writing that, because I wrote merch store twice. But with all that said and out of the way, thank you for watching, and as always, have a nice day. Note to self, don't write merch stores twice on the script, as it is confusing.